How's it going, everybody? Ryebread here today, and we are back with the Toronto Maple Leafs franchise mode, and for the first time in this rebuild, we are in the playoffs. And first of all, I want to say thank you guys for the support so far on this series. Let's see if we can get 10 likes on this video, help propel us past the Ottawa Senators here. And yeah, so maybe it's not necessarily a rebuild, but it might about to start to become one. I mean, we squeaked in the playoffs, boys. I'm just going to say that. We squeaked in. We're not the best team. We were not dumb. And actually, I think we were the worst playoff team. But, you know, hey, all that matters is we were a playoff team. You can be the best playoff team. You can be the worst playoff team. But each team has 7 games to prove themselves against their opponent. I completely forgot to show you guys the tree. There's the tree. In the East, we have Carolina versus New Jersey, Pittsburgh versus Columbus, Ottawa versus us, Tampa versus the Islanders. Then out west, we have the Jets versus the Abs, the Blues versus the Preds, the Sharks versus the Ducks, and the Oilers versus the Blackhawks as well. And I also forgot to show you guys the entire league stats, so I'll go ahead and pull those up right now. We won't do it too in-depth because I know you guys want to get right into this series. Nazem Kadri led our team in goals. Brown was number 2 in goals over Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and then Morgan Rielly had more than, yes. So this was a weird year as far as how we simulated the team. It was weird. It was topsy-turvy as far as who was doing well and points-wise, and then Shea Theodore was a big fat old minus. Same thing with Moore, Bouwmeester, and Wideman was too, but Shea Theodore, poor old Shea Theodore there, -2, but he was, or -20. I don't know how we have players with +10 and -20. So Liljegren is actually only a +10. So you know what? I might want to move him back down. I think I might be giving him too much ice time. And then goalies here, yeah, we saw that as well. And now we'll go to the entire league. We'll check out the goalies first. Why not? We'll go ahead and just do, what is it, 50? We'll go 50 games here. 50 games played. Save percentage, and it was Sergei Bobrovsky as a member of the Colorado Avalanche, so that's interesting. Thomas Greiss as well was the, I would probably give it to Gibson over Greiss, but it was definitely Sergei Bobrovsky's year this year as a member of the Avs. They are looking pretty good there in Colorado, especially with McKinnon and all that. And Steven Stamkos finished with over 100 points. McDavid, Puljujarvi, Sagan, Tarasenko, Tavares, well, we gave him to the Vegas Golden Knights, and he put up 89 points. So, obviously, looks bad on me. But what you gonna do? Goal scorers. Who scored the most goals? And it seems to be Ovi. Almost hit 60. He had 58, so he's still killing it. And I don't care about right wingers. Defenseman Pietrangelo, and then Carlson and Klingberg. The most goals, though, had 24 to Brent Burns, but Morgan Rielly was up there at 17, and we already saw the goaltenders. So now let's go ahead and check out the Ottawa Senators lines as I try and get through the start of the season here, or the end of the season recap quickly, because I forgot to do it in the last video. I also forgot to show you the playoff tree, but I just showed you that. Alright, now let's head down to Ottawa here. I believe we already checked them out a little bit, though, but Neal, Duchesne, Stone, that's a decent first line. Neal's a second line forward at this point in his career. Duchesne's still listed as a first liner, but he's a little bit of a worse first liner, but Stone is a solid first liner. Evgeny Dadonov, Jean-Gabriel Pageau, and Mike Hoffman. I mean, that second line is really good, guys. Marleau, Brown, MacArthur. So they got Patrick Marleau. I believe we gave them Patrick Marleau. And then Eller, Colin White, and Matt Calvert. Is Colin White's contract up? Because I might go after him. Nope. He's got 1 more year on his contract. Defensively, they have Carlson on their second defensive pairing, which is just unfair. Cece and Shabbat, Pissick, Carlson, Oduya, Edler. And then in goal, we remember they were a little bit weak. They have Kemper over Anderson, but I don't know who they're actually going to start. And as far as changes, I'm going to make to our line. I know these lines got us in, but like I said, they weren't working out for us towards the down the stretch there. It just was not too great. So we're gonna move Theodore up, Liljegren with more offensive defense, or well, he's an offensive defenseman. Let's just be real here. This dude's an offensive defenseman with more the defensive defenseman, the two-way Morgan Rielly. Even though you know what, he's also good enough defensively, but I'm really happy with the contract we have him on, and that's all the changes I think I'm gonna make. I'd rather have a deeper center core than stacking, putting players on the wings, but we do have a lot of centers on this team, so I could look to move one. But boys, if you can't tell, I'm excited to get into this Ottawa game. This Ottawa series. I am talking fast. I am super excited to get it started. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start up game number 1. First time with the Toronto Maple Leafs making the playoffs here. Let's go. First period. And we take an early 2-0 lead. Thomas Tatar, the trade acquisition, and Sam Bennett as well. 2 guys that weren't on this team to start the year are now producing for us in the playoffs. The second period. It could change everything. Mitch Marner extends the lead to 3, but Mark Pysyk pulls the Ottawa Senators back to within 1, but I will take that. Our top line putting up points. Mitch Marner like I said, should be the sniper on that line because apparently he shoots like mad, and Austin Matthews doesn't, but we're going to leave it as is for now because it's working. We're up 3-0, or 3-1, excuse me. We didn't score on the power play, but that's cool. Mitch Marner's going to score here with 5:03 left in the third period. Give us a 3-goal lead with 2 minutes, 1 minute, and sending us to game number 2 with a 1-0 lead. So I will definitely take that. Going to check out the stats really quickly because things worked. Mitch Marner, that first line there, Marner and Riley, those two guys are killing it. Sam Bennett for Leak Hyman. I mean, Matthews was the +2, had a point. I mean, we had a lot of depth scoring. And how many shots did Ottawa have? I didn't even check that out. They had 24, so not a ton of shots, but a solid performance from Frederik Andersen, which is why I don't think we need to upgrade our goalie because, he's playing well. I mean, he's a good goaltender. It's not like I need to switch that up. It's not like we have an 83 as our starter. It's not like Steve Mason is our starter. We have him there just in case. And all right, game number 2 here. Let's go. Let's see if we can go up 2-0 on the Ottawa Senators and put ourselves in a really good position here. Just take it one shift at a time, one period, and Frederik Andersen lets a goal in after Patrick Marleau's goal just 21 seconds into the game. So that's exactly not the start I was looking for. But let's simulate the rest of this first period. And Connor Brown does score for us, one of our leading goal scorers, but James Neal strikes right back, and now Ottawa's putting up some offense, which they struggled to last game, but we still did get a goal, so we're only down by 1. We lost that period. If we can win the next 2, we're going to get out here with another dub. Second period, and holy crap, did we just lose that period. So that one's rough. We're now down 5-1, 6-1. I don't think a comeback's coming, boys. I'd like to, if we get to 5 minutes and we're not anywhere close, if we don't just go nuts here and score 5 goals here, I might just sim the period because I don't want to sit here and watch this simulate. Ooh, Austin Matthews, the sniper now, but they get a power play right away, and we're still down by 4, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm not going to simulate it. 1 minute, 30 seconds, and that's going to be all she wrote. We lose 6-2, and yeah, so I feel like those games are going to happen. Either we're on or we're not. We don't have the depth or we don't have the talent all the way throughout this roster. I mean, Austin Matthews is pretty upset with how he's been playing. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops in overall because of his statistical performance this past year, so that's going to be rough to see him drop a little bit. We'll go with defenseman here for 2 weeks in the SHL. Yeah, so like I said, in game number 1, everything was clicking. We were playing well, but when things don't go right, we don't have the horsepower all the way throughout the lineup. Like, if our guys aren't scoring, we don't have the defense to pick it up, or we don't have the goalie who's going to steal us a game. We have an average roster, and I think that reflected in our regular season, but hopefully, heading back to the Air Canada Centre, heading back to Toronto. Oh man, I can't believe we're playing Ottawa in round number 1. This is nuts. Heading back to Toronto, not a lot of travel time, but let's go. First period. And that home crowd gets Sam Bennett under... Sam Bennett apparently is our best goal scorer besides Mitch Marner right now, which doesn't make sense to me, but, it is what it is. Second period. All right, boys. Home ice is doing it for us as Matthews, Brown, and Frolik score in this second period, and we go up 4-0. This series is nuts. Back and forth, and Erik Karlsson scores on Frederik Andersen there. I believe that was a power play. They get another one. I think they do not pull it to within 2. Halfway through this period, we are still up by 3 goals. They are heavily outshooting us. Double-digit lead in shots for the Ottawa Senators, but Frederik Andersen is stealing us a game. Well, I shouldn't say stealing, but he's locking it down there, and we got it. Frederik Andersen, a great game. Our offense is efficient, not necessarily good, because they only had 22 shots, I think. It was 22 or 24, and we scored 4 goals on it, though, so I'll take it. Frolik, Liljegren, Bennett, Brown, yeah, a lot of depth scoring, but more importantly, guys, this was the man. Frederik Andersen here, .975 save percentage, 1 goal against on 40 shots, so I will take that any day of the week. I mean, I don't expect him to play like that every game, but individual performance, well, I guess we didn't do necessarily too hot. And Austin Matthews is now leading the team in points as he's a point per game. And like I said, all you have to do is get into the playoffs, and you can see what happens next. So, wow, Edmonton already swept the Blackhawks. Holy crap. We're up 2-1. Yeah, okay, so let's see. This is a crucial game. If we can go up 3-1 in the series, I'll feel super good about how we're doing here. But if it's 2-2, I'm going to feel really nervous about how the series is going to go. But first period, And all right, Logan Brown there on their third line, but Sam Bennett, our third line scoring. So lots of depth scoring for both teams. They're just got so many more shots than we do. We need guys who shoot on this team. We got a lot of passers, we got a lot of playmakers and two-way forwards, but we don't have those guys that are just bona fide goal scorers, those studs that'll put up points every single day of the week. We need some of those guys, but we need them to show up now. Some of those guys who I was just dissing. Let's go. Second period. All right, so nobody showed up, but we do take the lead in shots after a pretty offensive period, so I will definitely take that. We held Ottawa to, I think, 8 shots as we got 13 or something like that, so I'll take that kind of period. And Bozak there on the fourth line, depth scoring, coming in clutches, and we're now up 2-1 with just 6 minutes to go in the third, but Logan Brown scores his second of the game with 5.5 minutes left. Now it's still 2 minutes. Anything can happen. 90 seconds, 30 seconds, and we're headed to overtime for the first time in this series. Man, can we win our first playoff series since 2004? This is a huge stepping stone. This period right here, we need to win this period. If we can go ahead and put ourselves up 3-1, I will feel super good about how things are going, and I really think we can do it. Austin Matthews, come on, now's the time to make yourself a Toronto legend. Just cement your legacy in your 4th season or 3rd season or however many seasons you're around. And Kirby Reichel does it. Kirby Reichel nets the overtime winner, and we are now up 3-1 after a 3-2 victory. I was calling out Austin Matthews, but Kirby Reichel apparently wants to be known as more of a man. He's that's a good game for him. That was Kirby Reichel's game. Tyler Bozak, Kirby Reichel. That fourth line, that bottom 6 guys, that's what's going to propel us. And I was going to say, I don't think those guys are good enough. I didn't think that we had the depth or the talent, or maybe I just got a bunch of guys in the locker room who just play well together. Maybe I got a bunch of guys that just, are good, that their overalls don't necessarily match up with how they play. But now it is a crucial game number 5. If we win this one, we're on to the next round. If we lose this one, we give Ottawa some hope that they can come back in this series. So let's squash that right away. In Ottawa, I was going to say on home ice, but we're in Ottawa here, so maybe we can silence this crowd early and take their morale, take their momentum out of this game early. First period, and we don't. Thomas Chabot gets going with he's in the blue paint. Why is Thomas Chabot in the blue paint? Just curious. Just how are we letting Thomas Chabot score from there? Anyway, second period. And all right, nobody scores, but the shots are even, so it's been a back-and-forth game. Ottawa is up 1-0 ever since those first couple games. Offense has really cooled off for both teams as we get a power play, but cannot convert on it. Now we hit the 10-minute mark of the period, still down by 1. It is not an insurmountable lead. We can come back, but now with 5 minutes left, we need somebody to step up right now. Do not let Craig Anderson shut you out, and Austin Matthews does not let the Toronto Maple Leafs get shut out. Now we're forcing another overtime. Kirby Reichel. Is it time for Kirby Reichel to cement himself as an overtime hero, an overtime legend of the blue and white Toronto Maple Leafs? Oh, let's go. Who's going to score the overtime goal? Oh, God, this is nerve-wracking. Let's go. Punch our ticket to the second round of the playoffs. Let's go. Somebody, I know I'm saying let's go, but let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, my God, I'm so pumped up for this. Let's go. I got to stop saying let's go. And it is Kirby Reichel, the overtime hero, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, my God, I'm super pumped, and all I can say is let's go. My brain doesn't want to think about any other word but let's go, because we are now on to the second round of the playoffs, and that's our first time we've won a playoff series since 2004. Oh, man. And it is Kirby Reichel who punches the tickets. Goal from Austin Matthews with just 3 minutes to go in the period. And then Kirby Reichel seals the deal in overtime. And now we're moving on to round number 2, boys. Oh, man. And from the looks of it, we will be taking... Ooh, it's either Tampa or it's... excuse me. God, I'm super excited. And there goes my voice. 3-2 in the series now. Tampa. Is it going to be Tampa? Or are the New York Islanders going to force a Game 7? They force a Game 7. Now, the 21st. Now we can determine who we will be taking on in round number 2. Is it the Islanders or the Lightning? Let's go, Isles. And the Isles have done it. I'd much rather face an Islanders team than Stamkos, Kucherov, Hedman, Vasilevsky, all those guys. I hate seeing the Tampa Bay Lightning in the playoffs. But it is the New York Islanders who we will be taking on in the next round. This is a short video. So, I know some of you just thought right now I hit simulate up to date. I was just simulating just to see if anything happens. It didn't. I'm not going to play the series now because you know how it goes. We do a series every video. So, but I am going to go ahead and look at what the Islanders are icing because they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's just go look at the Tampa Bay Lightning roster. Like, that's just stop. Just stupid. Just ridiculous right there. That first line probably put up so many points. Yeah, 8 points. I mean, it is in, I guess, Palat was the weak link there. So I guess that's what they should have looked to change. Nemesnikov should have gotten the start over Palat there. But yeah, it's a pretty good team. Now, defensively, Hedman, Sergachev, that's a sick pairing. But you know what? I see a lot of similarities between our two teams here. They have a pretty decent top 6 forwards, and then it starts to get a little weaker. But you just got to hope your horses up top can pull the weight. And in goal, they have Vasilevsky, so yeah, their goalie's a little bit better than ours. But we don't have to worry about them. We do have to worry about the New York Islanders, who have Matthew Barzal. He's so good. Eberle and Gustav Snipequist. Oh, man, I was thinking about trading for him, but it was a little bit too expensive for my taste. Zuccarello, Henrique, Josh Hosang, Nelson Beauvillier, Dalcal, Lads, Zigas Maroon. So, like, this looks like another team like the Ottawa Senators. They don't look as good as the Ottawa Senators, though. Leddy, Merkley, Boychuk, Pulak, Russell, and Bortuzzo. Who do they have in goal? They got Thomas Greiss in goal, although Thomas Greiss did have a pretty good season. It looked like his save percentage was up there at the top of the league, but he let in a lot of goals. So maybe they just have a lot of offensive fire. What? Where is their offense coming from? Oh, it's their bottom 6, boys. We got to rely on our bottom 6 to shut these guys down. I mean, Merkley has got 6. Yeah, Merkley's a really good offensive defenseman. But their defensemen don't get points other than Merkley. But this bottom 6 seems to have a lot more points because, like, a guy like Eberle has 5 points. Barzal has 1 point on that first line, and Nyquist has 5 points. But then you got 4 points, 3 points, 3 points. So that's average for a 7-game series for a second line. Then you have 2, 3, 4, and then 3, 2, 1. So, I mean, their bottoms, it's all spread out. So there's no one weakness. Besides maybe Barzal on that first line. He's not putting up points. But anyway, boys, that's the end of this one. We made it to the second round. I was totally not expecting that. I was expecting to do an off-season look in what we're going to have to be drafting, but I'm not going to look at the draft class until we get eliminated. So there we go. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys when we take on the New York Islanders in round number 2.